And for the last segment of this roundtable discussion, the ladies will be talking about community and how it helps them on a personal level and how it can also spread and create a ripple effect to help others.
So I've been lucky enough to find a couple different communities to kind of help me feel that I am worthy and okay. And one is definitely being SmartGlamour. I had no clue that there were like other people that struggled with their body. I always feel like, I don't know if you ever felt this, but you were alone like in your body struggle, because I'm like, why is no one else like hating how they look? Like I felt so alone. And then I moved to New York City, and I'll never forget, one of the first times I moved here, this lady was like, your clothes are way too tight for you. I was like, okay, like I guess I should never come back out in the public. And for some reason, I wanted to model after that. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, okay, then maybe my brain worked that way. But then I auditioned for the SmartGlamour fashion show, and then of course I got cast, and it was wonderful. And I met you, and I met you before that. But you know, we started. I started seeing everybody, and everybody looked so different. And I was like, this is the community that I need, because everybody's so okay with their body. And that's what, I wish a lot of young women had something like SmartGlamour. I really think that that's kind of what helped me grow into being like body positive. And then of course I'm also an actor, and there's not a lot of Latinas in the community. There's not a lot of plus size actresses in the theater community. So we are part of a group called the Playground Experiments, and they have been wonderful with like accepting art and putting out good stories that have nothing to do with how you look, and anybody can be in anything. And so I think those two have helped me personally, definitely SmartGlamour being one, and my group of theater people being the other. It's one of those things where I can't even imagine where I would be today if I didn't have these two communities kind of just like saying it's okay to do you. It's okay to be yourself as a human being before being a Latina, before being an actress, before being a model. It's okay just to be a human and exist and take up space. Like that was enough for me.
Definitely. And like I'll come off the PGE thing because I only found them recently, and it was because of you and David. So I've only been with them for a few months. It's been a few months. Oh my gosh. You're right. No, it's been half a year now. But just the community is so great because of that reason, because they're not necessarily looking for specific types, like how, oh my gosh, just going through audition notices and like, you need to be this height, you need to be this size, you need to be this color, you need to blah blah blah, and to be able to do PGE, and they're like, yeah, so you're gonna play this like
read a part,
20, 30, whatever person, like not even man or woman sometimes, just like this person, this is who you're playing today. And it's so great, and I feel like that's the reason that I have been going to more auditions than I thought I was allowed to go to, if that makes sense. Because when I first got here, I was like, well, I can go to Aladdin. I can go to Hamilton. And that's it. And it's groups like PGE, and it's groups like also I have like this small, what I call the Dallas Theater Mafia, that's up here, because a lot of us Dallas Theater people moved here, and a lot of these people have been here longer than me. But our group that has stayed, that is like, not come up here and quit and move back, but that has stayed, we're all so different from each other. Like, race, sex, like, weight, like, everything. We're just so different from each other, but we are all so passionate about seeing each other succeed. And it has nothing to do with like what makes us different. It has everything to do with what brings us together and what makes us the same, which is like ambition and drive and passion. And I love that. And so they also, like when I met you after meeting David, it was like, yes, my Texas people. But it's so nice to realize that you're just more capable than you ever thought you were when you surround yourself with people like that. And I hope to establish that kind of community with SmartGlamour too. because I've known Alex for a while now, and I love every post and every like runway walk that she's posted online from Smart Glamour.
No, that's what it is.
Like, first of all, killing it on the runway. Yes. You're amazing. Yeah. But it and like I like after just a few posts from Smart Glamour, I'm like, I'm gonna go check their little like Facebook page and like it, because I love the embrace of every kind of body type, every kind, even like with or without disability, like weight, height, color, like, and it makes me feel like I can do anything, which is why I think it's such a great group also for young women, like young women, to be surrounded in that all the time, to be like, you are beautiful for who you are. You are enough. Yeah. You know? But yeah, so like definitely theater, hopefully Smart Glamour. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on video, so I'm gonna give this little special shout out to my sister friends. I'm not gonna name you, but you know who you are. And these are friends of mine who I've known since I was 8, one since I was about 12, one since I was about 15. Like, people who I really truly go back with, who love me so well and are such amazing women. I'm incredibly fortunate, and I thank you for being these amazing women just in general, and just being good friends to me. And that is where my community starts, and where the idea that I could be loved and love myself for exactly who I am starts. At least I like to say, and I know I got it from somewhere, that a friend is someone who knows all about you and loves you just the same. Like, these women love me for me, bad or good, and I'm fortunate. So thank you. I love you so much. And that's where it starts. But I've also found community on the internet. Started with what I think of as like a movement in the plus size fashion industry, with some of these bloggers. The Curvy Fashionista is like my absolute favorite. I love her. Marie is a beautiful person, and I've met her, and she's like glowing inside and out, like just a great person. So that's one such blog, but there are several others where I found community just by reading posts, like just reading their posts and seeing these women put themselves out there in big ways, and seeing that some of these women have also been able to like create their own and like put fashion and like thinking about Gabby Fresh, like for example, as someone with the fat bikinis, and how much that meant for me to see a big girl somewhere publicized in a 2-piece. It was just so empowering just to see it, and then to try it for myself eventually. Like, that meant so much to me. And then following the bloggers meant that I was following other social media accounts and looking at the brands that they posted about, and that's how I found Smart Glamour, because Marie Danae, Curvy Fashionista, she put up one of their campaigns, one of Smart Glamour's campaigns, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll follow on Instagram. Like, I'll see what they're doing. I was, it was just, I just followed along with Smart Glamour, and and my body positivity journey went along with a journey with other things happening in my life that needed to go, other people that needed to go. Shout out to you, you know who you are. And when that went, and like rediscovering myself and reclaiming myself and my self-love, had to have all that kind of come to a head when I found Smart Glamour was looking for models, and they wanted everybody to be models. Like, could I be a model?
I thought it was fake. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Where's the height requirement? Where's the weight requirement? Where's the...
didn't believe it, but I did believe it because I had already been following for a little bit, and I remember the I'm Flattered campaign, which was huge, and the hashtag I'm Flattered, like, it was like, okay, like this, everybody and anybody was in that, and I was just like, you know what, I think they're serious, and that the idea of being a model was just something that I had thought of long ago, like when I was a teenager, or something I could do maybe, but I'm not tall enough, and I'm a big girl, and you know, all these things, and my body is not quite like what even what the plus size girls are looking like, you know what I mean? So just to say like, okay, well, I guess I could give it a shot and see what's good, and if they like me, you know. And it was funny too, and in the midst of all that, there was a person that I met who just, whether he knows it or not, really affirmed that my body was something to be loved, and I was just like, I could really do this. Let me just go in with that. And I went in with that, thinking about a conversation I had with that person, walked in, and was like, yeah, of course I'm loved. Like, of course you love me. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but audition, and I got it. And it's just like, as SmartGlamour has been, to cap it all off, SmartGlamour has been dope just because Mallory is an amazing person. What she's doing is amazing. And she's given us this platform here to talk. Of course. But also just that, as you said, it's everybody. It truly is for everybody. Fashion for all, size acceptance, all that. And to really see that played out and have a whole bunch of women of all shapes, sizes, colors, not even just women, like people, humans, that, you know, it's been amazing. So that's me and my community, and I'm thankful for all of you. Thank you. Yeah.
I want to clap after.
I didn't know what to say now. Where do I go with that? When I had I was on Instagram. I just started modeling. This was probably a few months into it, and I saw Mallory's post, and it was just like, no experience necessary. And I was just like, oh, thank goodness, because I just started out here, know where it's gonna go. And I met her and Allie, in a small little room in Simple Studios, and she just asked me to walk, and I was just like, oh, that was easy. Well, it wasn't that bad. And afterwards, she's just been such an inspiration, because her posts, your videos, your topics, is things that I think about, but you wonder if anybody else is thinking about them, and she starts the conversation, and it educates me, on different things that I've never even thought about, So I like the SmartGlamour community because it is a diverse group of women, that aren't always publicized in the media as well, because we're all models, we're all role models in our community, and also modeling, it's an outlet to allow me to meet other women, other women who, aren't in my community, who are experienced and have so many backgrounds. I started thinking, models, the single women, don't really have a life. And I met all these women, just like, oh my God, you do all of this stuff? I can't even get this much done. You know what I mean? So it also broadened my view to say that, everybody, we're so talented, and, it only inspires me to want to do more, because, I see so many other people doing so much. I want to see everybody do great, because we all want to succeed. And when I do go meet you guys, or have a fashion show, a runway show, I'm excited, because I want to see my girls, that I don't see every day, only during special times and events. We get to catch up, or talk about this, that we did in our experiences, and how we can get better, and just congratulate each other. Girl, I seen you on Facebook. Girl, you look great. Stuff like that. It goes a long way, because you want to give somebody else that assurance that you are doing a good job, because you might not inspire the next person, but you inspire me. Because you were brave enough to do that, or other people telling me that in my family, girl, you was brave for doing that picture, or doing that spread. But I feel like I tell people that's what I'm here for, because I love this. I enjoy it, and if I inspire you, then at least I know that my job is done, because it's doing something I enjoy, and that I'm showing the world that hey, I'm just this dark skinned curvy woman. I'm hoping that you can relate to me, even if you don't look the same, but you may feel the same. And that goes a long way, because you think, okay, I was thinking this, and I know now that somebody else is, thinking that and doing the same thing. I can do the same thing too. Or I know that person. Or I can go to her and say, how did you do this? Or, one of my coworkers, she goes,
I see you look so pretty. I was thinking about mom. And I said, well, if you're really serious, and, let's get together and work it out. Because, if you feel that, you want to show your other side, your other talents, you want to branch out, then why not help that person, be a better person? So I think that's, as far as the plus community, I think we have a long way to go. But if we, continue to do these projects like this and, to continue to include everybody and not just certain sizes, it does go a long way. And friendships are created and formed, and we get to meet these amazing people that we don't see on a daily basis. And I think if we continue to be on that good journey, we'll be fucking awesome.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So what I personally am trying to do with my community of people is, in my theater community, I'm trying my best to work with playwrights that are putting out stories that have to do with every sort of background, and I'm trying to get them out of the idea that they have to write for a specific race, so that we as artists can put anybody we want in those roles. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And I'm also simultaneously trying to produce shows that have to do with about a specific race. I'm trying to put more, because the more people see us on stage, the more they'll be like, yes, they exist, and yes, they're out there, and yes, they can perform, and they're talented, and they're worthy of telling their stories. So I think us as artists and models and professionals and everything, I think it's our responsibility, or maybe that's not the right word, but I feel like it's my responsibility at least to keep just pushing ourselves out there in the most positive way. And so even with the modeling shows I choose to do, I feel like I have a decent following on my social media accounts. So I'm trying to get more of these all-inclusive shows and push this image out there, hey, anybody can do anything they want to do. Right. And so that's kind of what my goal is, and I really hope other people kind of follow suit, because the more a lot of us push forward other races and genders and identities, then the more accepted it'll be on a larger level and a larger scale, and in different platforms. I really wish more people of color would go to the theater. I really wish more people of color were on stage. I wish more even social classes. You look at tickets for Broadway shows like Hamilton that finally have all of our types up on a stage. None of us can afford those tickets. So it's just that's my kind of long-term goal that I'm just constantly grinding and working on, is just getting our faces and our stories and our images out there to these big platforms like Broadway, Fashion Week, magazines that are, extremely popular and positive for the most part. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my communities. I don't know, what about you?
No, I would say the same exact thing. Because I think Playground Experiment, PGE, they do a really fantastic job of being all inclusive. I mean, or at least with what they're given, they're doing a really excellent job. I personally think there should be more women writers. Definitely more women writers featured. And I also think there should be more people of color telling their stories as well, because it's but from where they started, at least as far as I know, they're doing a fantastic job. They're really trying really, really hard to get across that anybody can be anybody in any show and tell a story, and it'd be a good story. And then me personally, I want to create a community for young, me specifically, this is just me specifically, for young Latina women, to be empowered by seeing somebody that is doing what she has always wanted to do, and that she didn't have to she didn't have to conform to the idea of what other people think that she should have conformed to. And so I want to be that role model for the little Latina girl, girl, you got this. You can do this. But the communities that I'm surrounded by, at least the good ones, the ones that bring light into my life, I just want that light to show everywhere else. I think these specific communities, if we have enough drive together, that we can create something really brilliant and brilliant in both light and both like just all of the ways that can break the barrier. I just want all of it. But these groups are doing it. We just need it to touch other groups so that the community becomes larger and becomes more influential. The larger the group, the more influential it will become. And that's what I think. I'm using arms.
Yeah,
Wow.
Very
Very presentational.
Put it what we all have been today. A little move around. Talking about that. But I think that we are here now doing what needs to be done, or a kind of thing that needs to be done to create the ripple effect of inclusiveness, and for the acknowledgement that diverse is great. Having this discussion and having the platform to have the discussion, having a place to be able to share the discussion, because it will be online and it will be shared, because we're going to share it, SmartGlamour's going to share it, and then someone else is going to see it and they're going to share it, and sharing. And you think about when you're a kid and they tell you, oh, you have your toys or whatever it is, and you should share it with the other person, the people in your class. And I don't know, I think it's because I was raised as an only child. My mom's the only child, and I just was used to having my toys for myself. But it is important. It's an important lesson that we teach children, and it's something that we need to do as adults, is to share. To share our experiences, to share our perspectives, and to be unafraid to share, which some people can be shy, and that's okay. You gotta take people as they are. So if they don't feel like sharing, fine. But those of us who feel so inclined, share. Talk to other people about what you're experiencing, because in the end, regardless of where you find community, that is how community is built, by having conversations and reaching out to other people. So that's how the ripple effect is going. It's going to get broader as the more and more we talk about it. And grateful to live in a digital age, because it's made the world smaller. So when this is shared, there's going to be people in South Africa who could possibly going to be seeing this. There's going to be people in Hungary who's going to possibly see this. And although, those are very different countries, different kinds of populations, there are some things that are just human, and that people will be able to connect to, and it's about making connection too, right? Yeah. So we're doing it. We're sitting here having that conversation, and once it's shared, I hope to continue to have the conversation. When people we'll comment and we'll talk.
And like in regards to sharing, I think that if as people who some people work in production, some people work in event staffing and events. We actually shared our resources. We could come together, as a community to help each other in regards to designers, small businesses, who, sometimes have to pay these exorbitant fees to be featured in shows or to be featured, in publications, just because you want to get your name out because you're a small business, And I think that if certain people, were more open to actually give those other people's opportunities without, any fees or any attachments, we would that would create a big ripple effect, because it's not always, give me something to get something. You're gonna benefit if if you're a big production company, because you're gonna have that audience that you're putting, that show out to, or you're introducing that designer to. From a model's aspect, you work with, different people, designers, companies, you see the difference of, your experiences from working with a small company to a big company, and, you see what's other small businesses or designers that are up and coming, you want to help. And I want to help people all the time, because I've seen what somebody else has and said, well, Mallory from SmartGlamour, she created this, and, she's done a great job. Maybe you should look at her website, see what she's done, maybe even ask her some tips, because you never know. Sharing is caring.
Yes.
And it goes a long way. And, and I tell my coworkers too, information is free. Right. People hold on to it, but, if you share that information, it might help the next 2 or 3 people. Absolutely. Sometimes you might not, you Google stuff, you know, you might not use the right words to find your answers, but, you know, talking to somebody, you know, it goes a long way. It helps to create that effect, because now I know where to go. Now I know where to go to SmartGlamour to find those custom made clothes, you know, because somebody shared, you know, her link or her great video, you know. It does start a long way. We have to actually start with ourselves, you know, and our community, you know, and refer people, you know, and I say that's a, you know, photographers all the time, you know, thank you so much for, you know, referring me to this person or referring me to that person. Thank you for sharing, because it's not done all the time.
Right.
And, you know, it really does start with us, because if you introduce me to this, we can make great work too. We can make magic, and all of a sudden, you know, somebody else is benefiting, but you're also getting that view out there. You're pushing your idea out there, your projects, and also you never know what the effect might be on that audience that's seeing your work. It goes a long, long way.
Okay, so on my social media, if you guys don't, you all follow me, right? So
Shout it out for people that don't.
Shout it out. So if you don't follow me, you can find me everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Patricia Glows. That is the common spelling of Patricia and the word Glows, Patricia Glows. So, so on my social media, I started this thing, kind of started it last year, and I wanted to make it a consistent thing this year, where I am posting selfies of myself, my selfies, and with the hashtag selfie confidence, and just the idea that I can put a representation out there that's me. It's not even like looking for people who are like me, but it's me out there, and indicating to whoever's seeing it that this is an expression of me and I'm confident about it. And I can definitely say there was a time where I was not confident about what this looks like, what I look like, and you know, I think it a blessing that I'm able to readily just download an app, upload a pic, and use that, not necessarily because I want a bunch of likes or attention, but that I am, by putting it out there, facing that this is who I am and this is what I look like. I'm my mama and my daddy's child, and this is what it is. And right, and like, and to step into that boldly. And so when I post the hashtag selfie confidence pics, it's about me saying that to myself first and foremost. And when I get likes and people say, oh, you look great, that is even more amazing that people do that, because for so long, still for most of my life, I'm 34, so still maybe for most of those 34 years, feeling like, oh, maybe people aren't feeling that about me, and maybe people are critical of me, and I feel critical about me, and using social media as a tool to turn that around for myself. I think it's amazing that I'm able to use it in that way, and I feel very blessed to have that, and I feel even more blessed and grateful for everyone who comments, whether you like it or not. Like, it just that you even take the time to say something about the photo. I mean, I appreciate it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I think so in regards to social media, I can be shy, you know, but when I put my photos out there, you know, I don't always look for likes. You know, if I have a photo and I want to put it out there, I'll just put it out there. But when I do see the comments, you know, to me it's just mind-blowing, because I can be such a shy person, you know. So when I see those comments, you know, sometimes I just melt, you know, inside, you know, and I start to smile, you know, because, especially when a girl that I used to go to college with, Tasha, she posted one time, commented, girl, you give me life, you know, I love it, you know, you inspire me, you know, keep doing it. So when I see those comments, it's just like, yes, you know, thank you, you know, I need that, because, you know, then that gives me an extra boost of confidence to say, okay, I need to go harder, you know, I need to keep focusing, you know, figure out the next project, do what I can, you know, to keep inspiring people, because, you know, if you're gonna feel good about yourself and say, oh, I can wear that, you know, she dressed that up really nicely, you know, I think I'm gonna put that together, you know, or my coworker, so you wear that hat nicely. I had that hat for a year and I still can't figure out how to wear it, you know. So the fact that even your confidence and, you know, the way to inspire people, whether it's in person with your coworkers every day, or, you know, online on social media, just that amount of feedback, you know, that shows that not only that you stand out as a person, you know, because you are you, you know, you're representing yourself either way every day on a regular basis, but that perception that you put out there towards other people, you know, it allows them to form their own perceptions. Oh, she's great, you know, oh, she's confident, oh, she can do what she wants, she's brave, you know, she can just do it, she don't even, you know, there's no questions asked. And you know, I like that about her. You know, I want to do more things like that. I need to be more outgoing, you know, so that positive outcome, you know, from just that post or just from wearing that cute little outfit, you know, that you just put together, it really does go a long way. It really does. And you know, the fact that it can make you smile, you know, that I think that's the greatest, you know, victory at the end of the day. You know, to actually you feel good about what you did and your actions. I love that. I really do.
I love that you guys do that. First of all. Second of all, I personally hate taking selfies. But what I will say about like just posting pictures just generally on social media when there are because I just feel like all of us, just like as humans, we all have that moment where we're looking in the mirror and we find flaws in ourselves.
Right.
And one of my big ones that I've grown up with, and I still like not nearly as much as I did when I was a child, but I still struggle with my smile because I grew up without health insurance. My family didn't have health insurance, and so I never got braces. And I begged my parents to give me braces because I don't know if you can tell, but I don't have straight teeth, and that bothered me for the longest time. And I remember never smiling in pictures. And I remember when I would like laugh, I would cover my mouth, and I still catch, just because it's such a reflex, I still catch myself doing it. But there was this one. It was my 17th birthday, actually, and I spent it with two of my best friends, and we went into this photo booth, and we were just being goofy and being stupid, and that was the first time that I saw myself and embraced what I had, and I'm like, oh my God, just the fact that I was able to embrace that from looking at myself doing this, like what kind of impact can that do to other people that feel the same way about their flaws, where, you know what, I'm going to embrace this because that's what makes me unique and beautiful. And so so now if you go through my pictures, like I am smiling in almost every single one with like no hesitation. It's just like natural. And I just think that more of us need to do that, to embrace what we think is wrong with us really is what makes us different. And that's beautiful. And I'm sitting at a table full of beautiful women, and we all have very distinct features and very distinct looks, and other women, when they look at us, and social media makes it so easy and so accessible, when they see how confident we can be in the skin that we have, they're like, you know what, I'm going to embrace everything that makes me different, you know? And that's like that, and I just love that, that social media and the internet community has helped develop that. Granted, it's also like caused other things, but right now we're talking about the good things about the internet. But that's what I have to say about that.
Well, what I try to do with my social media pages is hashtags are like this new phenomenon, like the last couple of years, that bring people to a specific topic or a specific type of people and background. So me, what I was struggling with as an actor and as a model is that, you know, I don't look like your typical Latina because I wasn't a certain way. I, you know, I'm not what the typical Latina would look like. So I try to put myself out there as much and hashtag Latina because I want to say this is what I look like. This is what as a Latina woman I can be cast in a show where you need a Latina because it doesn't matter what I look like to, you know, fit this role. So I like to use social media, and then of course I hear so much feedback. I mean, I come from a very a community that is very underdeveloped, and you know, a lot of people don't get out. So and to like Shenelle's point, when people say you've inspired me, oh my God, you're slaying my, like, oh my God, it's slaying my life, this picture, and I'm just like, really? Me? Just that
Exactly.
that girl from the south side of
love
San
me.
Antonio.
Yeah.
You like me.
Yeah.
So it was something, because I would never ever post photos of myself whenever social media was first up and coming, whenever like Friendster and MySpace were first kind of slowly creeping up. Throwback. I was always afraid. I always had pictures of like a cartoon or something silly. Like I never had a photo of myself, because I was just like, I don't look like what people should be looking like. You know, I had that thought in my head, and then I kind of, you know, grew out of it, surrounded myself with some great people, with online communities that were like-minded and that were very uplifting for me. So now I'm trying more than ever to be like, hey, like, this is what a Latina girl look. This is what I look like, and you know, I'm here, and I'm so unapologetic too when it comes to my postings. I'm just like, whatever. Like I'm gonna, this is what you're gonna get, and this is what I'm proud of, and that I'm very happy to have. So take it or leave it. You know? If you don't like it, then on to the next. You know, someone else won't like it. And so that's why I think that these social online communities are so well, because we can put ourselves out there with our hashtag, whatever we want, to say, hey, you're not representing Latinas like, you know, exist, so here I am. And you're not representing Black women as they are, here they are.
Right,
like,
exactly.
it's all right here. Right. You can't ignore it.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
I hope you enjoyed this SmartGlamour video. If you did, please like, comment, and share. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great week.